Hello and welcome back to a brand new experiment on the Lucky Sparks channel. That's me. And today we are taking Cardiff Metropolitan University into Europe. That's right, that's the challenge. Considering in real life they are one win away from being in the Europa League first qualifying round, we're going to see if by giving them professional status, a worldwide reputation and a crap ton of money, they can actually sort of become a European force. And obviously they should, maybe not this year, but every year afterwards, walk the league. They should be far better than TNS could ever hope to be, unless they also get a sugar daddy, which might happen because the reputation of the league should increase, you'd think, with Cardiff doing better in Europe. So all I've done is I've given them a massive reputation, 10,000, giving them the full club attendance they can get at 150,000, giving them the maximum bank balance they can get, and then giving them a lot of transfer budget, a lot of wage budget, a front end sugar daddy, and professional status. I've not changed any of their facilities. I kind of want them to do this all by themselves, see how far they can go. And a second sort of secondary experiment I'm doing simply for the fact that I really enjoy watching Loki Doki's Journeymen save, which I highly recommend. I'll put a link to it down below. If you go to Harry Owen, he's now been given 200 potential, so he could be the next Cristiano Ronaldo. But I mean, we already know he is the next Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, he's played for Lazio, Levski Karlovo, Wolfsburg. He's been the assistant manager at Spain. You know, you don't get sort of much better than that, I suppose. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go 3 years into the future to give them a chance to really build on what they're going to do here. So the first season, as long as they don't get relegated, they should be fine. They have got all of pre-season to go, so they could sign a couple of professional players, and hopefully they should at least stay up, you would think. If they get relegated, this is going to be a very short experiment. Just an update on the FM17 one. I simmed forward into the future. They hadn't done anything, so I just decided just not to record it and to start with a new experiment because I wanted to do this for ages. So yeah, Hemel Hempstead just became a championship team, if that's what you're wondering. But I suppose I'll see you in a second with the Cardiff Metropolitan University. Okay, so here we are now in 2019. Let's see how Cardiff Met have got on. Well, they're first in the Welsh Premier League, so that's good. So the first season they were 7th, then they won the league. They've actually got Yannick Bolasie. That's really good. I like that. So let's quickly go to their competitions, senior squad. Okay, so the UEFA Championship they knocked out in the second qualifying phase by Copenhagen, who are a decent team, mind. So it's not like it's terrible. They won the league quite convincingly, won the Welsh Cup and the MG Cup, which I think is their version of the Community Shield. Yeah, won it really easy. Only lost one game all season, 2 TNS actually. Didn't draw at all. That I don't think I've ever seen that before. The league has risen from 120th to 107th, so it is improving as a league. So one team qualifies for the Champions League, 3 teams qualify for Europa League. Okay, so they're yet to move up in European rankings yet. Let's go to their transfers, see who they brought in. Okay, so in the first season, no real big spending, mostly frees. They did finish mid-table. They did enough to sort of stay up that season, which is what I was expecting. The next season, they spent 15 million, rising to 20 million on Edmilson Fernandez, up to 22 million on Michael McManus, up to 10.5 on Mason Holgate, up to 12.5 on Yannick Bolasie, up to 7.25 on Charlie Austin, 3.1 million on David Martin. Okay. Regen. I thought it was a different David Martin. Thought it was the MK Dons goalkeeper. Yeah, some pretty big players coming in. Bursat Chelina as well. And leaving, it's mostly just loan players. And they brought in Tammy Abraham for up to 32, Patrick Roberts for up to 32, Joshua Onomah up to 12.5, Patrick Van Arnholt for up to 9 million. We're just sort of really raiding the Premier League for players at the moment. And leaving, any big names leaving? John Chapman went to Sunderland for 1.1 million. Other than that, not really. Still got Wayne Allison as manager. Still playing at the Kincode campus as well. They are expanding it by 1,522 seats, which will be completed next year. They have improved nothing actually yet, I don't think. I think they've improved their youth facilities a little. Still got 8,000 reputation. Still got a lot of money in the bank. Yeah, they've not really improved their facilities at all. But they can. The campus can be expanded up to 30,000, which is pretty. So they shouldn't really need to move out. What's their attendance? Yeah, it's still 150,000. So yeah, that should be selling out every single match. Will they? I don't know. They might have their attendance reduced more. What was that played? Oh, that's played at the Millennium Stadium. So they sold out the Millennium Stadium twice. 3 times. But I mean, they won the treble, so that's really impressive, considering it's Cardiff Met Uni. How did they get on in previous years in Europe? Oh yeah, that was. I think that's their first year in Europe, actually, isn't it? Yeah. So they've qualified again. So they beat Cliftonville. Not that convincingly in the second leg, mind. First leg they actually had to play at the Millennium Stadium, obviously due to the fact that the Champions League requires you to have a minimum attendance, and they're selling it out as well. And they were quite unfortunate. They lost 2-0 in Copenhagen, but then actually held them 0-0 in Wales. So that's a little unlucky, I would say. Yeah, let's look at all that. They didn't. There was one game all season. It was right near the end. They'd already wrapped everything up at this point. So yeah. See how Harry Owen is doing. This side experiment. Barely playing at all, apparently. Oh, he's played 32 games, got 5 appearances at the moment. It's only up to 26, he's got a 200 potential, and they're just not really playing him, I suppose. But you'd think with a 200 potential, they would have at least sort of loaned him out somewhere. And so in the first season is when he really played. And then when they brought in all the big stars, he sort of slipped down the pecking order. But I mean, yeah, they're sort of just dominating, which I suppose at the moment is what you expect. This will obviously get more interesting as we go along. I'm sorry this is a day late, because of the Hemel Hempstead career mode. Actually, it's slightly later than it's coming out on Saturday instead of Friday. But you've got a Fallout 4 video instead. So yeah. But I suppose that's where I'll end it. So I will see you later.